Hi guys, Bruce here. Going to attempt my first tutorial video on a few things that I've learned over the course of the last year and a half on how to band a slingshot and tie it to the pouch. So pretty simple setup here. I have my homemade jig for attaching bands. It's simply a scrap piece of 2x4 with a few holes for adjustments, and I've cut some copper pipe that can be fitted in the slots. You can use wood dowels or whatever else you have on hand, and I use some medium-sized clamps that slip over there, and I'll show you how they attach to the pouch in a few minutes here. So other things I'm using regularly are a pair of very small needle nose pliers that have a cutter on them. Here's my regular blue Alliance bands. I have some tapers cut here from 3/4 to 5/8 inch TheraBand Gold. A Super Sure Super Pouch, the best in the business, and some rainbow looms for attaching my bands to the pouch. And of course there's my little Axiom Natural that I carved out a few months ago. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get started here. So first thing I like to do is grab my small end, and I just do a simple fold in half. So once I get it through there, as you can see, it's just folded over with the channel facing up. I simply grab just enough to catch on the clamp, and I clamp it off of the jig. So I'll put that end in first, and then I simply pull this to the pouch. So I'm only doing one side at a time. Then what I do is just raise it up off the base there, so I have some room to work with. I'm gonna go with the red rainbow looms today. I give them a couple pre-stretches, and then I just cut it in half. This was one that I learned from Metro. He had a nice video up that showed me how to do these. So very simple. I place about 1/3 of the elastic behind the ties here, and I go once over. Now that I'm there, I simply go two ways around on the inside towards the pouch, two sides back on the outside, and we're almost done. I go one more just for safety around there. So I'm always going around with just one end of the tie. One end of the tie I'm simply just holding and transferring hands. Now I like to tie my knot on the back of the pouch because I'm setting this up for OTT, and I simply do 2 overhand knots. So there's one. As you can see, my rainbow loom did break off a little bit there, but there's still enough to finish off the second knot, and that'll just save me from crimping it when I'm done. I've never had one break during shooting, and I've only had one loosen over the course of time. So there's my actual knot. Hopefully it's coming through there. Now it's simply a matter of, I just relieved a little bit of pressure, and it slipped off the one end, but I'm not going to edit that out because it's perfectly fine. So what I like to do is take these little ends, and I'll just cut them not too close because they don't have to be perfect. Now I'm left with very, very small ends, And I'll take my same pliers here. I'll give it a couple little pre-stretches. And I'll just crimp this part back a bit just to clean it up. Don't actually know if it matters for shooting or not. And I'm left with that little nubby there. So we're going to go ahead and do the second side now. So same thing, grab my TheraBand, the narrow side. I'll fold it through the pouch from the inside to the outside of the pouch, and same thing, the channel is going up. And now it's just a matter of duplicating the other side. So I will take my clamp it just on the inside of the fold over. Now that we have the second one tied on, it's a little easier to get it here because we got some stretch to it. So same thing, I'm going to go from the back side to the front side. I'll cut my little tiny rainbow loom here, which you can get at dollar store, hundreds of them for $1 or $2. We have thousands of them kicking around the house. So again, I'm going to start on the back side with about 1/3 of the tie. I'm going to go once to the inside, and I'm pulling it tight, but not ultra tight, and I'm always holding this end up. This end doesn't fold over at all until the end when I do the knot. So now I'm going to go 2 ways around, and they're always kind of crossing over, causing a nice, there's 2 more to the inside. And again, I'm just transferring hands, and only one end is ever going around. So now we have both ends. I'm going to tie it to the back side. I'm going to see if I can flip this around for you guys just to give you a better view. And it's simply 2 end over end knots. So there's the first one. I'm not pulling them super tight because I don't want it to break like the last one. And there's my second one. Almost. They are a little hard to work with because they're quite small, but once you get the hang of it, they're make very nice ties. So there's my knot, and as you can see, this time I have 2 nice big long ends. I'm going to just give them a very, very light pull, and I'm going to use the outside of the cutter there to leave just enough to give it some wiggle room. So now that we have that, simply again, I'm going to try and do this without snapping it off like last time. I'll hold the pouch and release the pressure there. So now that's all that's left for this one, is to give it a couple stretches here to make sure everything is in order, and I will cut that, leaving a couple millimeters, nice and clean. So as you can see, got our Super Sure super pouch tied onto the TheraBand Gold with 2 rainbow looms, channels facing up, very small end over end knots, and didn't take long. Once you get the hang of it, it can be done in a matter of minutes. So now we can put that jig away, and we're going to concentrate on banding this to my natural. So I regularly use these blue ones, as you guys have seen in some of my pictures, and I just give them a couple pre-stretches, and I simply just cut them so they're ready to go. I think this was from Bill Hayes' video, showed him how to do the tying to the forks. So choose which side you want to face you, and we will, you know what, let's go with the this funky side here. So I will attach I do it so these the bottom of the band is about at the bottom of my fork tip, and that will allow me plenty of room to fold it over.